Well, the season of foraging is over. Nobody is really out today, maybe one lone bee here and there. Somebody came out to see what was going on. Pretty quiet. And the mite count is about 0. But we're still going to do a 5th acrylic acid treatment. Why not? One of the nice thing about acrylic acid treatments are, if you have any mice in the hive, and I don't have mouse guards on quite yet, I'm working on a new one, they leave the hive real fast when you start the treatment. So if you have mice in the hive and you can't get them out, try an acrylic acid treatment.
Well, maybe no one was out before, but they are sure out now. A nice pile of chalky bees on the front of the hive. Little acrylic acid to wake them up. Powder doesn't do them any harm, so they're having fun.
So looking over these whiteboards, you see capping dirt where they've chewed cappings. But in every case, I don't see any mites, so that's good. Now, sometimes it's hard to tell dirt from a mite, but the trick there is, of course, if you see legs sticking out of something, that's a mite. Other than that, it's, pretty much, well, there's one little ant running around that I saw, but no mites. So the treatments really have worked out well this year.
So we wrap up treatment number 5 here at the hives, and the next step is going to be to make up some mouse guards. I'm going to try something a little new this year. And also what I'm feeding them this winter is going to be a cake made of sugar and honey. And we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be working on that next. My first thought had been to actually make up cakes in a nice little form and put the blocks on each hive as need be. We're going to reverse the tops and do the burlap as well. But I thought, you know what? They don't care what it looks like. They just care that they can eat it. So after I mixed up the pile, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to press this on top of the screen and let them come up and chew it at will. I don't know. I mean, next time I might put a little wax paper underneath it, because some of the honey, doesn't really bond to the sugar, so it kind of drips out. But other than that, I can't see any point in trying to make some fancy, nice-looking cake. I mean, they're not impressed by the looks of it. I was amazed this late in the season that I was still seeing yellow jackets visiting. I thought we were done with them, but no, there's a few buzzing around trying to get a free handout. So underneath we have the feeder screen, and on top of that we have the 1/8-inch mesh, which stops the bees from coming up any further. And the reason is I'm going to go back to the hives and I'm going to fill those boxes full of burlap like I did last year. And you don't want the bees tangled in the burlap if you're changing out the burlap and it's wet. This screen I had on upside down. I needed that clearance on top so that I could fit the sugar honey cake. I haven't thought of what to call it yet. The muck. And in between that and the space on the bottom of the 1/8-inch screen, there's enough clearance there so that they can get around. And I'm sure that as they eat it, they'll be able to clear everything out between the two. So the one issue that I did seem to run into is, unlike the sugar cakes that I'd made in previous years, the honey cakes, whatever they're called, very sticky. So I ended up washing the suit afterwards for what got on the arms, because it just, it was really like clear tar sticking to everything. So what I'm doing here now is, in this space at the top, I'm filling it with the burlap. And the idea is the burlap will absorb the water and condensation so it isn't dripping down on the bees. It has some insulating properties as well, but primarily it's to mitigate, cold water dripping down on the bees when we get into freezing weather. And we're not quite at freezing weather. We have frost in the morning, but it's still warming up in the afternoons. Probably come back later, and I'm going to put some tape between the supers to help insulate things. But right now, we're not quite to the insulation stage.
It's safe to say They know exactly what that stuff is as well. Let me see if I can actually aim this at myself today. Remember to like and subscribe. Until next week, goodbye from Buzz Park.